Coach, what did you see last night?
Really an amazing game. You know, the first quarter was probably what would have guessed was going to happen, and kind of happened, you know, except for the red zone in the game, that it was back and forth and just explosive offensive players, great receivers. You know, I can't imagine a championship game with better receivers, skilled players on both sides offensively. And then all of a sudden, the turnovers and the inability in the red zone, you know, the fake field goal, a couple fourth down stops, and, you know, all of a sudden the game, you know, was totally one-sided at that point.
When did you know Alabama was in trouble?
At the end of the first half, you know, when they sat on the ball there, you know, and it was an aggressive game plan by Coach Saban. He went for it in his own territory, which is very unusual for him. And then when they sat on the ball with whatever it was, 30 seconds left and all their timeouts, I was kind of a little worried it was going the other way.
If you were still the offensive coordinator, knowing what you know after watching the game, what would you have done differently?
Oh, I mean, that's easy to say now, obviously. You know, so it's going to be easy to say, you know, would have run the ball more because, you know, the running backs in the O-line were so effective on Alabama's side. But that's easy to say now. Tua came in as playing one of the greatest games ever, you know, just the week before. Only think two or three incompletions. So that's easy to say now. But I think anybody'd say that, you know, the day after.
Well, watching it last night, I just kept saying, you're running the ball well. Why not continue to do that? Because, you know, there's depth issues on Clemson's line because of suspension. So I just would have kept him out there as long as I could. I know Tua is great, but in the moment I kept thinking whenever they wanted to run, they could run the football. Could you have talked Coach Saban out of something if you were there on the sidelines in the moment?
Well, I don't think Coach is ever on the headset saying throw the ball. So you don't have to worry that wasn't going on. I'm
Really?
sure that wasn't. Oh, yeah. You know, he always likes to run the ball and control the clock. I mean, that's well documented, you know, especially when his defense is struggling in a game like that. You don't want to go 3 and out and, you know, after 15 seconds to be back out there. So, but you can't fault the offensive coaches. I mean, you've got some great receivers, great quarterback, you know, that had done unbelievable things, set all the records, and, you know, but sitting there watching it, which it's always easier to watch than it is when you know, when you're in the moment calling those plays, you know, you don't see it, you know, as well, especially if you have to be on the sidelines. So watching it, yes, that was the feeling that they were not stopping the run, and you know, that three-headed monster of the 3 running backs, they were always fresh, and you know, all 3 guys are NFL running backs, and Josh Jacobs was unstoppable, you know, in short yardage. And so it's easy to second guess and all that and then say, okay, well, in the red zone, why didn't you go Wildcat? You know, because they didn't stop Wildcat all day with Josh. But, you know, that's why your guy's job is easy.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.